Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I see you guys out there waiting, and welcome to another live stream. A wonderful day has passed, and it's a nice, hot, sweaty day here in Florida, near Pensacola, close to Navarre Beach, and we got a hurricane apparently going to come this way, or not this way, I think a little bit east of us. So if the power suddenly goes out, I apologize, but a hurricane hit us and knocked all the power out and whatever other damage it's going to do. But that's okay. I've been through so many hurricanes, it's just part of the deal. It's part of the deal. But we welcome you to the live stream. Karina is at home in Bogota, Colombia. She just survived an earthquake. So she had her earthquake last week, and I got my hurricane this week. So I don't know what else is going to happen, but we're good. James Juan, hi Diego, stay safe. Oh, I'm in the house, and if I have to evacuate, I'll evacuate. I got, it's a little vacation. Leave the house for a couple of days. Kaiser H, hello Diego, how are you doing this Monday? It's Monday already. I'm doing great. Also, how is your fiance Karina doing over there in Bogota, Colombia? She's doing great. She just repainted the whole apartment. We had a 6.3 magnitude earthquake shake the whole apartment. And one of our neighbors got killed trying to climb out of a window. And she was from Venezuela also. So I'm going to go visit with her family as soon as I get back to Colombia. And so Karina finished painting the apartment. And I'm just waiting to see where this hurricane hits. And right now I got power, so we can do a live stream and answer all your questions on K1 visas. Jacob Myers, good evening, Diego. Make sure to be safe. Oh, yeah, most definitely, Jacob. And in October, you're going to be in the Philippines, hopefully with your beneficiary getting your visa, coming back. Brian and Jacqueline, hi, Karina and Diego. How are you two doing tonight? Well, I'm doing great. Karina's doing good. She's at home. I don't know if she's painting still or she wrapped up painting. Our cat Tokyo helped paint the house with his paws. He'd walk with Karina would paint some and then he'd walk over it. So the cat's helping too. So it's been an interesting couple of weeks. Mr. Nahas, my friend Mr. Nahas. Hi Diego. We'll be safe. We're good. Kaiser, did you get any updates on the I-134 Declaration of Financial Support? No, keep going. Keep using the current edition. You're good. It's not expired. Keep using it. Teja Sweeney Mumadi. Hi, Diego. I am at 84 days, but I still have not received from the email from the MVC. Well, I think we're at about 80-something days, too, and we haven't received an email either. But it is what it is. We have to be patient. We wait. We wait. We wait. We wait. Okay? The MVC are busy. They're busy people. They're working their butts off for us. Okay? But lots of people don't appreciate what they're doing. Remember, the immigration visa is a benefit. It's not a right. You don't have a right to come to America. It's a benefit. And these immigration folks are highly trained. They're very professional, and they're getting the job done. We just got to wait for it. Wait our turn. And Jacob says, I can't believe September is at the end of this week already. It's almost September's going to be here, and then guess what? I'll probably be in Colombia at middle of September, end of September. I'll be in Colombia doing the live stream. You're going to have to put up with my apartment in Bogota. It's brand new, though. It's just being painted, so it'll look pretty. Thanks to Karina. James Wan, once I got the MVC welcome letter, how long does it take for the embassy to be ready status? This is for Mumbai. Well, Mumbai, India is the consulate. It's not the embassy, it's a consulate. The embassy's in New Delhi. But the consulate is like 2 months to 4 months. So give it 8 weeks. 8 weeks to 12 weeks, somewhere in there. 16 weeks. They're busy. Mumbai is busy. But let's see here. So James, hang in there, okay? You're going to be in India very soon. When you go to India to pick up your fiancé, make sure you go to the Taj Mahal. Okay, spend it. Go have a little vacation out of it. Get lots of pictures with your fiance at the Taj Mahal. Do something. If I had a chance to go to India, that's what I would do. And I'd eat some of their curry, the real stuff, right there, the real curry. Cecilia Gomez, when will I receive NOA 2? I got the welcome. Okay, so you got your NOA 1 letter December 30th, 2022, Cecilia. So you should get your NOA 2 letter probably by November of this year. James Wright, hello, Mr. Diego. What's going on, James? And Jacob says, with the I-134, does all the pages have to be filled out even if they really don't apply? Here's what you do with your I-134, okay? If it doesn't apply, you put NA or none, okay? Put NA. Do you need an interpreter? No, NA. But you got to fill out every page. You can't leave any parts blank, except for there's only one piece that you can leave blank, and that would be in care of in the address. So when you put your address down, your physical address where you live in America, if you don't have it in care of, you just leave it blank. But the rest you got to fill out. So if it doesn't apply to you, you put NA. Okay? It's not hard. And then some parts of that form you can't fill out on a computer. So what do? You use a black ink pen. You got it, Jacob? It's not hard. Teja Sweeney Mumadi, my beneficiary, is going to the interview in Mumbai, India. Okay, good. I know people from India receiving the letter earlier than mine. Well, let me explain to you that the immigration don't work in any particular order. Okay, they don't. Range numbers are irrelevant. The time frame that your visa expires on the NOA 2 doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It doesn't apply. Okay? They just increased the wait time for NOA 2 letters. Doesn't apply. Visas are getting approved quick. The MVC processing time went up, I think 2 weeks. It's slowing down. Is it slowing down? It's taking 90 days to 100 days. Nothing's changed. So I don't pay attention to what immigration says on their website. To me, it's irrelevant. James Wright, is the welcome letter an email? Yeah, it's an email and a physical letter. You get an email first from the MVC with a case number. Hopefully, you'll get your case number included. And then when it goes into transit and your visa goes to the embassy or the consulate, then you get ready status. And then you get to work getting your visa done, like Jacob did. Jacob's visa interviews for his beneficiary is in October. He's going to the Philippines. It's great news. And I just made a video on what questions they ask beneficiaries in the Philippines at the embassy in Manila. Now, remember, you cannot accompany your sponsor to the visa interview in the Philippines. Can't do it. All right. And you have to schedule your medical exam 2 weeks before the visa interview. That's what the rules are for the embassy in Manila. So Evans has a question. Hi, Diego. We've paid for the DS-160. Very good. Got your receipt. Good. But when we wanted to schedule our interview, we noticed that it says the consulate only gives interviews to people who filed. Well, of course. Yeah, you filed for a K-1 visa, right? You got a case number, right? So schedule your interview. If you're having trouble, email the embassy. Hey, help me. Send them an email. Hey, I'm trying to schedule my visa interview. Go into Travel Docs. Go into your SEAC account. Go into Travel Docs. Go into your country where your beneficiary lives and go through the process. So Evans continues. 2019, 2020, 2021 should be worried about the DS-160 form getting expired. Or should we contact the consulate? Well, if you filled out a DS-260 in 2019, it's expired. If you filled out a DS-260 in 2020 and 2021, it expired. It's no good. You got to fill out the DS-160 when you get your visa interview scheduled. So if you know you're going to have your visa interview, like Jacob, he's going to have his visa interview October, I believe, October 24th, if I remember, then I would say for him, fill out the DS-160 2 or 3 weeks before the visa interview. It's not hard. It's easy stuff, guys. So in regards to the DS-160, Evans, it's gone. Just redo it. But redo it closer to the interview date. Tina, hello, Diego. What's up, Tina? Christopher Brown, hi, Diego. On the DS-160, it asks you to list your children. Do you list your children even if they are adults? No. If they're not your dependents, if you don't claim them on your taxes, the immigration are only interested in who are you responsible for? Who are you financially responsible for? They want to figure out your family size so they know what category you fall in for the minimum income requirements, okay? So if you got 2 kids who are grown up, they don't live with you, they're not on your tax return, they're off on their own, independent, you don't include them on the I-134. No. Immigration, they're not part of your family. They're your family, but you're not responsible for them financially. The I-134 is a declaration of financial support. Who are you supporting financially? Who are you supporting? Your next door neighbor? His cat? No. You're going to be responsible for whoever's on your tax return as a dependent and living with you in your house, and your beneficiary and any of her children. Okay? So if you got kids living at home, you have to count them on the I-134, especially if you claim them on your taxes. Jacob, a lot of those questions are basically no for my fiance. I can only imagine what questions they give him. Jacob, you're good. You're good. Your fiance is going to get us K1 visa, okay? Just a little more time to go. Hang out with us and enjoy the show. James 1, do you know if Mumbai interviews are something we scheduled, or does the consulate give us a date? You have to schedule the interview. You schedule it. 99% of all visa interviews for K1 visas are scheduled by the beneficiary or by the sponsor. You know, you all chat to each other. Hey, honey, do you want to do it? No, I'll do it. It's easy. Jacob, our DS-160 had to be filled out before scheduling. Okay, so at the U.S. Embassy in Manila, Philippines, you have to fill out the DS-160 before you schedule the visa interview. Okay? That's their rule. Leonarca Lopez. Hello, Diego. What's going on, Leonarca? How are you? I have been waiting 4 months for my welcome letter from the MVC. Is that normal? 4 months. So that's 120 days. That's too long. I will be sending an inquiry every day. Where's my welcome letter? Where's my welcome letter? Just blow up their inquiry form. Blow it up. You want to know? You've been waiting too long. Okay, 90 days, 100 days. But I would start sending inquiries. Evans, no, what I mean is we've paid for the visa, but at the U.S. Travel Docs website, we can't schedule an interview because it says they're scheduling for people who filed in 2019 to 2021. Okay, so the embassy's backed up, apparently. Which embassy? Which country? So what that means is the U.S. Embassy is backed up with K1 visa applicants, and you filed last year in February, but you got everything done. It's at the embassy. Now you're just waiting for a slot. But the embassy is telling you you got to wait until they clear out the backlog, right? Which country? Adriana Sarango Nunez. Hello, Diego. Thanks for everything. And can we switch the address while waiting for our NOA 2? Well, if you move, you can, sure. But you got to tell immigration where you are. You better tell them. Go into your online case. What is it? Your online case status, and go in there with your receipt number and your email address, and change your address online with immigration. You know, but you can change addresses. You just got to tell them where you're at. Evans, my question is, does the receipt payment for the DS-160 still valid? According to the embassy, they're good for 12 months. So they're good for a year from when you paid it, okay? And you're asking me, can we schedule an interview, or we can just wait until we get notified? So your visa, if you've paid for your DS-160, it's good for a year. But you got to keep in touch with the embassy. Email them once every 2 weeks and check in. Okay, if you don't contact the embassy, they'll terminate your visa after 12 months. You got to stay in touch with the embassy once a week, twice a week, or twice a month, excuse me. Send them an email, check in with them. You can cite your case number, your beneficiary's a passport number and date of birth and name, and print the emails. So you got a record of you staying in touch with immigration. Okay? Nice way. Diego, I'm still not able to schedule the interview. Well, you got to just keep trying, my friend. Francois, good evening, Diego. How are things in Florida? Things are great. It hasn't been as hot as it's been in the past month. So the temperature is down, what, it's 88 degrees according to my computer. But I got the air conditioner on. I fixed my air conditioner. So I'm not melting in the chair. But Florida's great. We got a hurricane. We got one hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, I believe, coming somewhere this way or that way. I don't know. I'm keeping track of it, keeping tabs. James Wan, woo, high five. Thanks for the super chat, my friend. That's a Mountain Dew at Walmart tomorrow if I haven't evacuated because of a hurricane. Let me see. Yeah, Evans. Yeah, it's Nigeria. Okay, Lagos, Nigeria is backed up. Okay, you got to stay in touch with the embassy. You got to send emails. Keep in touch and print the emails so you can prove you're contacting the embassy in Lagos. But they're backed up. Benny Yao is in the house. Benny Yao, his beneficiary is in the Ivory Coast. I remember you went there. Is it ever possible to receive more than one RFE? No. Can you receive a second one after responding to the first? No. The only time you'll get a second RFE is if you mess up the first RFE. If you mess that up, then you get it. They'll ask you to fix that problem. And then another super chat from James Wan. Man, I tell you what, that's orange juice and Mountain Dew. Jennifer Casedo, saludos desde Colombia. Diego, why? Porque es muy difícil to espera. Why is it so hard to wait? I received my NOA2 in early July. I know waiting time is 90 days, but OMG, too much. Diego, advice, please. Relax. You gotta chill. Okay? Go relax. I'm in the same boat. Adriana Nunez. Hey, Diego, what form I-765 can we, the beneficiaries, work before getting married and getting our green card? Or we just have to wait for the green card? Well, when you get to the United States, you adjust the status with I-865. You don't even worry about the 865, not 765. Van Kumar. Hi, sir. I need to get my girl here. She's in Varanasi, India. Beautiful India. I love her too much. You love her not too much. You love her so much. Your English is hard. It's difficult. English is difficult. It's a tough language. Spanish is hard. Man, it took me forever to learn Spanish. And I keep messing up now. Nice way. Brian and Jacqueline, super chat. Boom. Thank you. Brian and Jacqueline, you guys support this channel. Fantastic. You're fantastic supporters of the channel. James sent me 3 super chats for 3 trips to Walmart for Mountain Dew. Whoop slap. Did I get my welcome letter? No, not yet. I'm waiting. Pink Rose, what should I write to the embassy when I'm going to be ready? What should I write to the embassy? You want to write them an email. You're asking them, you want to send an email to the embassy asking for the status of your case, right? So you're going to include the case number, the invoice number, the beneficiary's passport number, name, date of birth, all the information that is required, right? To identify your beneficiary. And ask them, where's my visa? What's the status? Just say, where's my status? They'll tell you. Jeet Mushiani, look at you. Well, thank you for that super chat. So now I got 4 trips to Walmart for Mountain Dew. Thank you. You can only have 1 Mountain Dew. Brian and Jacqueline, you're right. But I tell you, I love Mountain Dew. And you guys are keeping me supplied in Mountain Dew so my voice doesn't dry out here in hot Florida. But it's going to cool down here soon. And when it starts to cool down in Florida, guess what? I'll be in Colombia. Kaiser, Diego, do you know that the U.S. consulate in Mumbai, India, does allow the petitioner to attend the K-1 visa interview with his beneficiary? Does? Oh, you're asking me? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't believe so. But what? But the ambassador makes that decision. The ambassador runs his or her embassy. The ambassador that runs the embassy in Colombia says I can go to Karina's visa interview. The ambassador that runs the embassy in Philippines says you can't. It's send an email to the embassy or to the consulate and ask them. Brian and Jacqueline, I mean I can't. And G Musiana, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate it. That's your first one. Welcome to the Super Chat Club, the Mountain Dew Club. Gee, hello, Diego. We were able to register account with U.S. scheduling from Mumbai and fill out the DS-160, but we don't see interview slots open. That's correct. Is there a way to know when we'll open an interview? Yeah, you keep checking back. You got to keep going online and checking. You got to keep looking. Like for me, when I get Karina's welcome letter from the National Visa Center, then I'm going to say, okay, great. I got my welcome letter. Then I'm going to wait for the ready status. I'm just going to wait and wait, probably a couple of weeks. And then I get the ready status from the embassy. Then what? Well, then I'm going to go in and pay the visa fee, fill out the DS-160, and then I'm going to look for a slot to schedule the visa interview. And in Colombia, I think it's like 8 weeks out. So when I go into the travel docs, like you are for Mumbai, I'll go into travel docs for Colombia, Bogota. I'll probably schedule Karina's visa interview probably November, December of this year. But at least I know the day, right? Once I know the day, then I can buy a plane ticket and go to Bogota. And she'll meet me at the airport, and then we'll jump on the bus. It'll be late at night, so we'll jump in a taxi and go to our apartment and hang out and wait for our visa interview. Then I'm going to do the I-134. I'm going to sign it and date it. We're going to get more pictures together, get them printed. Okay, I'll get a updated police certificate for Karina. Well, she will. She'll go on her laptop and print her police certificate. I'll get it translated into English. We'll have that. And we'll be ready to just wait for the visa interview. We'll go to the visa interview. We'll go through the interrogation, basically 5 or 10 minutes. When that's done, she'll turn her passport in, her Venezuelan passport. Remember, Karina's from Venezuela, but she's a legal resident of Colombia. She'll turn her passport in and wait for her K-1 visa. Takes about 4 days. They'll send her an email, and me also. Your K-1 visa's ready. It's at the pickup point that you scheduled in the SEAC account. We'll go pick up her passport. We'll look at her K-1 visa, make sure there's no typos in her name. If there's any typos, we'll go back to the embassy and say, hey, you got to fix this. But they're good. At Bogota, we've never had a problem with them. Boom. That's how you do it. So, G, you just got to keep on trying, okay? Keep trying. Jacob, good thing you will be out of the Florida for hurricane season. Well, yeah, hurricane season ends November, okay? Ends in November. I would rather be here for hurricane season so I can protect my house. Honestly, I'd rather be here and protect my house. But it's okay. It's my choice to live here. I made a decision to live in Florida, okay? And we get 2 or 3 hurricanes a year. My decision, my choice, my problem. Leonardo Lopez. This was the last email the MVC sent me. To whom it may concern. You will be notified once the case is forwarded to the embassy or consulate. There you go. So you send an inquiry to the MVC, right? And that's what they sent back to you. What, 4 or 5 days later? What does it mean? That means, Leonardo Lopez, that means when your visa is in an airplane flying to the embassy, in which country, by the way, is your beneficiary in? When it gets there, you'll get an email saying ready. The embassy will email you. You'll be in the ready status. James says I got the same email. So the National Visa Center have created a algorithm response to MVC inquiries that says, wait, we'll let you know when it's at the embassy, right? If I send an inquiry today, to the MVC, I bet you I get the same email, but signed by a different person. Hello, Diego. Liz has a question. Hello, Diego. Where can I download the I-134 form? Okay, Liz, do you have a pen in your hand? If you have a pen, you will go to this website, okay? uscis.gov/forms. uscis.gov/forms. Go into that website and it will take you to the immigration forms for USCIS. You're going to page down and you're going to look for I-134, not I-134A. Do not go in there. That's for asylum seekers, okay? Go to I-134 and you click on it, and then you're going to click on the form and you're going to fill it out. So you want to make sure you've got your beneficiary's passport number, name and date of birth, and all that stuff, all the personal information. Make sure you got it on hand so you can start filling out the form. And then whatever you can't fill out on the computer, guess what? Use a pen, black ink. That's how you do it. Brian and Jacqueline, I have a question, Diego. The embassy sent the packet 3 and 4, and they wanted us to do the DS-160 first. Okay, so Bogota wants you to fill out the DS-160 first, then pay the visa fee, then schedule the interview and medical exam. Very good. So that's the process for Bogota. So when I process Karina's visa for Bogota, okay, they're going to send me packet 3 and 4. They're going to want me to fill out the DS-160 or her. Then I'm going to have to pay the visa fee, schedule the interview, and then the medical exam. Easy. It's easy. You just got to wait your turn for the spot. Angel Mercia. Much blessings, Diego. Thank you, Angel. Blessings to you and your family. Also, Adriana Sorango Nunez. Hello, Diego. If there isn't available slots at the embassy, do you have a due date to get the visa interview? No. You got to keep trying. You got to go back and check every day. Check and check and check. Look for a spot. When you see an open spot, jump in there and get it. Brian and Jacqueline, I paid for Jacqueline's, and tomorrow I will pay for my stepdaughter's. Does the DS-160 last for 30 days? If you've filled it out and you have printed the DS-160 confirmation page, it's good. It only lasts for 30 days if you start the process and don't complete it. If you start your DS-160 and you don't finish it, you got 30 days to complete it. But if you start the DS-160 and complete the form, and you print it and get the confirmation page, you're good to go. That's how it works. JD, hi Diego, a very good morning from India. To accompany my fiance to a visa interview in Mumbai, U.S. consulate will mail petitioner, beneficiary, or both, or any one of us. I don't understand the question. To accompany my fiance to a visa interview. If Mumbai allows the sponsor to go to the visa interview, okay, you got to make sure that your name is on the check-in list at the security gate at the front. So you want to call the embassy, give them your name, social security number, and all that, so they can put you on the entry log as an accompanying your beneficiary. So they'll let you in the embassy. Brian and Jacqueline, is it extended for longer? I'm just wondering because you said it's about 8 weeks to schedule an interview. Yeah, it's about 8 weeks to schedule the interview. But if the embassy in Bogota is telling you to fill out the DS-160, fill it out and send it and print the confirmation page and you're good to go. You're good. The only time the DS-160 will expire is if you fill it out and don't print it, don't confirm it, don't send it to the embassy. And then 30 days passes and then you're going to have to redo it. Benny Yao, how long does it usually take from the MVC welcome letter to the ready status? Depends on the embassy. Your beneficiary is on the Ivory Coast, right? In West Africa. So probably about 2 weeks. It's pretty quick. The Ivory Coast, they're doing pretty good turnaround. And I hope when you went to the Ivory Coast, Benny Yao, you had a good time, a good vacation, and took lots of pictures. Liz, gracias Diego. De nada, Liz. Me alegra. Tu dia bien hoy? Jacob, does the beneficiary need income in the I-134? No, zero. when you fill out the I-134, this is a declaration of financial support about the sponsor. Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, you are financially promising to support your beneficiary when he or she gets to America. Immigration couldn't care less about how much money your beneficiary makes. They don't care. They want to know how much do you make. They're only interested in how much money you make. So when you fill out the I-134, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, Jacob, just put 0 down for the beneficiary and 0,000 assets. 0,000,000. Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Jacob, you're going to fill out that I-134. You better have some good numbers in there for you, for income. The beneficiary, it's irrelevant. They don't care. Tina, hi Diego, I have a big problem. I heard from the other sources. Was that CIA? Who is that? That in the visa interview, we must prepare 3 years of recent tax transcripts. And 2020, 2021, I barely reached the poverty line. Tina, the immigration officer, the embassy is only going to ask you for your last tax return for 2022 if your visa embassy interviews in 2023, excuse me. So if you're having a K-1 visa interview in 2023, they only want to see your 2022 tax returns. But I recommend you get 3 years worth of tax returns, 3 years worth of tax transcripts, 3 years worth of W-2s and 1099s. Why? Because the immigration officer may be having a bad day and say, okay, I want to see 3 years worth of tax returns. He can do that. She can do that. So be ready for that question. But 99% of the time, you only need to show 2022 tax returns. Now, if you didn't make enough money in 2022, get a joint sponsor and have the joint sponsor fill out the I-134, get the joint sponsor's tax returns, W-2s, 1099s, a letter from the employer, pay stubs, bank statements, and all that jazz. If you don't make enough money for 2022, get a joint sponsor. Find somebody that does meet the income requirements. And then Tina says in 2023, I made much more money. What year will they look at? They're going to look at 2022, Tina, if the visa interview is in 2023. Get a joint sponsor for the visa interview, okay? Even if you're making way above the minimum income requirements in 2023, immigration don't care. Get a joint sponsor. Faith A, thank you so much for your support, Diego. Today, the day we finally got an appointment day. So happy. High five, Faith A. I told you you'd get an appointment. Just got to keep trying, right? Tina, is it true that they want to see consistency for 3 years? If you don't meet one of them, most likely you'll receive an RFE. No joint sponsor in Manila. Okay, so you're in the Philippines. They don't accept a joint sponsor. So you got to make the money. And the only time that immigration is going to look at your 3 years worth of tax returns is for the adjustment of status to the green card. Okay? If the adjustment of status to the green card, that's when you list the 3 years worth of income. But you only have to produce one tax return, one W-2, one 1099, one tax transcript. Okay? You don't have to dig up past tax transcripts for the adjustment of status. So Tina, when you do the adjustment of status for the green card, okay, in the United States, if you make enough to get through the visa interview, right? You made enough money to get through the visa interview, you had 100% plus. Then when you get to the United States, get a joint sponsor when you do the adjustment of status. You're good to go. You'll be fine. If you made enough, if you're at 100% just over for the embassy interview, you're good. You'll get through it. You'll get here, but you got to get a joint sponsor in America. Francois Livingston, Diego, I am here just to listen and see and learn because my application just started. As you know, I know, I'm not counting days like the first time. I'm just waiting. Francois, just wait it out. Don't count days. You're going to lose your mind if you count days. You're going to get sick. You won't be able to sleep. You'll be checking your phone every day for a case status. How many? Don't do that. stick to the months. If you filed a K1 visa today, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, if you filed a K1 visa today to the Dallas Lockbox in Dallas, count months. In 11 months from now, you should get your NOA 2. Right? So if you filed it today, August 2023, right, by July 2024, you should get your NOA 2 letter. Do not count days in between. You'll lose your minds. It'll make you sick. Brian and Jacqueline, okay, that is what I was confused about. You're not confused now. I had the idea that it was only good for 30 days after we completed it. No. Once you complete the DS-130, once you submit it, then you've printed the confirmation page, you are good. And then you schedule your interview in Bogota, right? Like I'm going to do. Bring the confirmation page, even though it's 6 weeks old, 8 weeks old, so what? The embassy told you to process the DS-160 first, right? Bogota said, process the DS-160 before you pay for the visa and before you pay and before you schedule the interview, correct? That's what I'm going to remember for me. If that's the case, all you got to do is fill out the DS-160, print it, print the confirmation page, and you're good. Doesn't matter if the visa interview is 3 months from now. You're good. You're following the rules of the embassy. Francois, offhand, do you have a video on what happens after you get NOA 2? Yeah, I do. I have a video in somewhere out of the 600 I made. I have to dig it up somewhere. Or you could look for it. Or I could make a new one. But I made over 600 videos. I made some videos about traveling through Colombia with Karina. Made some videos when we hiked up the tallest waterfall in Colombia. What a hike that was. Man, my legs were tired. But I hiked the tallest waterfall in Colombia and got soaking wet when we got there in the rainforest. When I go back to Colombia, we're going to go to the coffee region, which is basically 3 cities, 3 towns, 3 pueblos in Colombia. And we're going to go visit each town and try the coffee from each part. This is the real deal, the real Colombian coffee. Tadima Linda, how long does it take to get an interview date after the visa payment? Which country? Which embassy? If you were able to make the visa fee payment, it should take anywhere between 2 to 4 months to get an interview on average. All embassies except for Nigeria. Nigeria is bad right now. Jacob, but have like 4 pages about the beneficiary. Okay, Jacob, yes, there are 4 pages about the beneficiary, but this form is about you, the sponsor. This form is also used if somebody wants to come to the United States as a tourist. So if somebody in the Philippines wants to come to the USA as a tourist on a B2 tourist visa, then they fill out all the paperwork about them, the tourist, not the sponsor. You got it? So if you're coming to America as a tourist on a vacation, you're going to fill out I-134. But the beneficiary is going to sign it, and the beneficiary is going to fill out all of his or her income, assets, etc. But this I-134 is for the sponsor to sponsor the beneficiary. So immigration do not care what your beneficiary makes. They don't care if she's a millionaire or a millionairess. They don't care. They just care about what you, Jacob, make for income. That's all they care about. They're going to go to the I-134. They're going to flip through to your page. They're not going to look at the beneficiary page. It's irrelevant. But it's used if a beneficiary is coming to America as a tourist. Then you change the form around, the format of the form. Instead of checking the box on the top right of page 1, you check the box on the left of page 1. Okay, but let's not complicate this. Let's keep this simple. The I-134 Declaration of Financial Support is all about the sponsor and his or her ability to support the beneficiary. So the beneficiary will be totally zero. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Linek, do you know how long the appointment for K1 visas are taken at the embassy in Bogota? About 8 weeks. So if I was to get my welcome letter today, ready status, it will probably take me at the end of October to get a visa appointment in Bogota. Binny Yao, is the K1 visa issued at the embassy a 6-month visa or a 3-month visa, or does it all depend on the embassy? Okay, a K1 visa, Binny Yao, is good for 6 months from the date of the medical exam. So when your beneficiary in the Ivory Coast has her medical exam, that's when the clock starts on the expiration date of the K1 visa. Then she gets her K1 visa put in her passport. She's got 6 months to use it from the date of the medical exam. So if her medical exam was 2 weeks before she got her K1 visa, she's already burned 2 weeks of her time out of the 6 months. So the K1 visa is good for 6 months from the date of the medical exam. Okay, guys? You got it? You got it, Binny Yao? Girl Dragon, hi Diego. So happy to see you. We got the welcome letter. High five, Girl Dragon. And ready status. Look at you. A couple of weeks ago, the embassy in Nigeria still hasn't reached out to my beneficiary. Still waiting and waiting. Girl Dragon, Lagos, Nigeria is having a hard time. They're backlogged with K1 visas. They're slow. They're slow. So you're going to have to put your patience hat on and wait for them to get caught up. At least they haven't shut down the embassy, right? They haven't shut it down. They haven't said, don't send us any more K1 visas. They're collecting the visas and they're putting them on a shelf in the embassy in Lagos, Nigeria, and they're working through them. Jacob, with all the beneficiary assets and income, you put NA. You put 0, nothing. You don't write anything for all the stuff, words, and 0 for numbers. Okay, you put 0 for numbers, and you don't put anything for assets. Just leave it. Don't even click on that down arrow on the I-134. Don't click on the down arrow. Leave it alone. Just click on the numbers. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay? It's not hard now. Don't make this difficult, Jacob. You don't put anything for assets for your beneficiary. Just leave it alone, blank. No, don't put NA, nothing like that. Now, if you want to, you can. You can click on there, and there's a spot that says NA. You can do it if you want to. It's up to you. Put zeros for the dollars. Janiela James, hey Diego, tomorrow my fiance interview. Wish us the best. Yeah, Janiela, I saw your post in YouTube there. That you're a little bit nervous about it. Don't be nervous about it. It's part of the process. Immigration, wants to see your beneficiary face to face, and it's quick. It's over quick, and then your beneficiary will get the visa. And then Jen Ganesh, Diego, did you and Karina get your welcome letter yet? No, not yet. We're probably first week of September. MVC is busy, guys. Tina, thanks, Diego. I'll keep that in mind. All right, Tina, just hang in there, okay? Tina, if you are 100% or above for income, okay, you'll get through the visa interview. When you get to America, you got to get a joint sponsor. If you don't make about $2,000 above 125%, I'm saying this, immigration are getting strict on the income. They're getting strict. Even though the rules say you got to be at 125% for the green card, don't be at 125%. Be $2,000 plus above 125% if you don't want to get a RFE for a joint sponsor. Okay? Adriana Sarango Nunez. We love Diego. We love the Cartagena cat. Yeah. Mi sombrero es muy bonito. Karina compró para mí en Cartagena. Now, Karina got this for me in Cartagena. And she's a capitalist guru. She's a capitalist. She negotiated the price of this hat for 20 minutes on a street corner in Cartagena in February of 2022. We were on vacation in Cartagena. We stayed there for a week. We stayed at the Ibis Hotel overlooking the Caribbean Sea. What a vacation. And I got a hat out of it. Thanks to Karina. History Blitz. Hey, Diego, can my fiance, now in the U.S., married and filing adjustment of status, get a Vanguard account to start investing? Sure. She has a social security number. Absolutely. Get started. Go for it. History blitz. Get her investing. Good idea. Social security number, legal resident. She has every right to do that. Okay? Every right. Antonio, will a 4-year-old have to get a medical exam in Manila? Yes. Everybody gets a medical exam. Everybody gets a medical exam. I don't care how old you are. If you're 100 years old, you get a medical exam. If you're a little baby, you get a medical exam. 4-year-olds get a medical exam. Antonio, got to get it done. And it's going to be, if your beneficiary Antonio is in the Philippines, the medical exam will be done at St. Luke's Extension Hospital. There's an extension called St. Luke's, and the 4-year-old will have to have a medical exam. Mr. Najas, Diego, would you please repost the video for vaccines? Need it for USCIS adjustment. I can do that. I can redo it. Not a problem. I can make a new video. Jacob, all interpreters and preparer sections just get NA. NA. Jacob, do you need an interpreter to do the I-134? No. You read and write English. You don't need an interpreter, but you got to put something in the block. So you put NA, NA, NA. Don't miss a spot, even on the date, even on the telephone number of the interpreter, NA. And then preparer. You're not the preparer. Okay, you're the sponsor. So when you get to the part that talks about preparer, NA, 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 because you're the sponsor. You're going to sign the spot that says sponsor. Boom. Where it says, were you the preparer? No. NA. Did you get an interpreter? No. NA. What is the phone number of the interpreter? NA. What's the email address of the interpreter? NA. Let's see. Tadima Linda, unable to secure interview date after visa for payment in Nigeria. Yeah, Lagos, Nigeria is backed up. They're backed up, but they're still accepting K1 visas from MVC, and they're stacking them in the shelf somewhere, so they're not blocking the visa. They're just slow getting through them. Let's see, Jacob NA. Angel Mercia, Diego, I'm trying to download Form I-94. Still says no record found after almost a month of entry. Okay, make sure you're entering the passport number, the name. Put the name in, put the name in first, last first. Maybe the immigration officer, the border patrol officer, put your last name first and your first name last. Try that. You should already be able to get, after about 2 weeks, your I-94, because you need that for your adjustment of status, right? So go into the Border Patrol website, go into the I-94. I think it's just, you hit the center one and put in your name first and last, and then the name last and first. Try that. See if you can do that. Or they may be just busy. Or get on the phone and call the Border Patrol. Go into that website where you're trying to print your I-94. The I-94, ladies and gentlemen, is the proof of legal entry into the United States of America, and it is required in the adjustment of status paperwork. Call the phone number on that website and try to get a hold of Border Patrol and see if they can help you print it, because you need that form. Okay? The same thing happened to me on my first K1 visa back in 2016. After a month, I couldn't get it. I couldn't find her name. So I put her first name first and her last name last, and then her last name first and her first name last. I combinationed the names. When I did that, she popped up. Tina had written the I-134 and sent it to my beneficiary. Is that okay? Perfectly good. Good job. Handwritten is fine. No problem. You can handwrite it, Tina. Not a worries. Just so long as that the immigration officer can read it. You just print it. Your best handwriting. Your best handwriting, like you're having an English test, okay, in college. Your best handwriting. If they can read it, you're good. Adriana Sarango Nunez. Hey, Diego, do you think things are speeding up? Honestly. USCIS, yes. things are speeding up at USCIS. They're getting quicker and quicker, processing the K1 visas. Are things speeding up at the MVC? No, things are slow at the MVC. Are things speeding up at the embassy? Yes and no. It depends on the embassy. Embassy in Bogota is about 8 weeks wait time. The embassy in Dominican Republic is like a 2 week wait time. The embassy in the Philippines is like a week and a half to 2 weeks. Okay, the MVC is slow, and the embassy processing depends on how busy the embassy is. In Nigeria, it's horrible. It's slow. It's molasses. Let's see. Nong Vang, Envy Homes. Nong Vang. Good evening, Diego. I know you all already posted a video about sending a copy of the NOA2 letter to your beneficiary, but would you know if the U.S. Embassy in Laos requires the original NOA2 letter or a copy? Just a copy. Nong Vang. Nong Vang. All you need is to make a copy of the NOA2 letter and email it to your beneficiary. Upload it to your computer, email it to her. Or take a picture of the NOA2 letter with your phone, boom, and send it to her in a screenshot so she can print it. And then she'll have it. Doesn't have to be the original. The things you need that are original forms for the embassy interview. I-134 has got to be original, signed and dated, in black ink. The beneficiary's birth certificates, the original birth certificates plus a copy, plus a translation into English if it's in a foreign language. You need passports, okay? Police certificates, got to be originals. That's about it for original copies. Birth certificates, I-134, police certificates, and passports. Let me see. What else do we have here? Jason, hello, Diego. Is the biometrics done prior to the interview at the embassy? Depends on the embassy. What they follow the directions. Do what the embassy tells you to do. Most likely, yes. For the embassy in Bogota, Karina will have to get her biometrics done first. Boom, fingerprints, whatever. And then the biometrics place in Bogota will send that information to the embassy. They won't give it to Karina. They'll send it to the embassy. Let me see here. NI87. Hi, Diego. Hope life is good for you. Very good. Always. Every day is good. Question. What states in America should a tourist like myself avoid? Well, I wouldn't go to Maui, Hawaii right now because half the island burned down. So don't go to Maui. That would not be a good idea. Okay? It would not be a good idea. I think the police and the FBI have got every road cordoned off, and it's like don't go there. Okay? But anywhere else, I would go visit. I wouldn't go to New York City in the wintertime because the weather's terrible. I would go to California or go to Tennessee. Go see Elvis Presley's house in gravesite. In whatever you want to do. I can't think of any place not to visit in America other than Maui, Hawaii right now. Okay? So as a tourist, I would, like any country, Chicago is a pretty rough place to visit. Chicago, would probably add that to my list. Don't go to Chicago and don't go to Maui. Other than that, you're good. Jacob, with the income I put in there, do I put full income from last year or calculate for this year? Last year. What does it say, Jacob, on your W-2, on your tax return and your W-2 for 2022? What does it say? You put that as your full income for the immigration interview because the I-134's got to match the tax return. Okay? Now, if your income is not sufficient for 2022, but your income is sufficient for 2023, you could put in your estimated income. But you got to back that up. You got to prove it with pay stubs, bank statements, direct deposits, etc., a letter from the employer. Okay? So what I would do is put my 2022 income in there for 2022 on the I-134. Okay? Unless the income is not sufficient, If it's not sufficient, but in 2023 you made a ton of money, put that estimated income on the I-134, but cover it with evidence. Letter from the employer, bank statements, direct deposits, all that, pay stubs. You got to prove it. You just can't write it. You got to prove it. And life in North Carolina, checking in from Greensboro. What's going on, everybody in Greensboro, North Carolina? Angel Marcia, will do, Diego. Thank you. No problem. Fazak, I have met my fiance in 2 different countries since filing the application. Have copies of flights and hotel bookings made. What paperwork do I need to fill out when she has embassy interview, if any? No paperwork, nothing. She goes to the visa interview. Okay. Well, you got to fill out the I-134. Okay. Let me backpedal. The only paperwork you're going to fill out for the interview is the I-134. Okay. Sign it and date it. But put all those boarding passes, hotel receipts, and itineraries and pictures. Put those together in a folder so the immigration officer can look through it and see you were there. It's evidence of your relationship continuing. When I fly back to Bogota, Colombia, to be with Karina, okay, once I get her visa interview scheduled, she's gonna bring the boarding passes, and we're gonna take pictures together. We're gonna go on a vacation to the coffee region, etc. Easy day. Let me see. James 1, when do we do the police clearance certificate in India? They ask us, is it for reasons other than immigration, or should we select reasons for immigration? You select reason is for immigration. Reasons for immigration. James 1, go to Disneyland. Disneyland, now there's Disney World and there's Disneyland. Disneyland is in California. Disney World is in Florida, in Orlando, about 6 hours from where I live. That's a good option for a vacation. Disneyland, Universal Studios. I would go to Universal Studios over Disney World or Disneyland. Universal Studios is where I would go. Jacob, what does it mean, intent to provide specific contributions to the beneficiary? Jacob, I made a video on how to fill out the I-134. You got to watch that video. But I'll answer this question for you. That you are going to write in there, you are going to provide 100% income, medical, health insurance, housing. What you're going to tell immigration in that blurb, in that area, that you are going to take care of your beneficiaries' income, health care, housing, and anything else she needs. Okay? You are telling immigration you are going to take care of her or him. Okay? In your case. Okay? You got it? What does it mean, intent to provide specific contributions? What do you make per year, Jacob? Do you make $50,000 a year? You're going to put in that block $50,000 because you're going to share your income with your beneficiary. Okay? When I fill out the I-134 for Karina, whatever I made in 2022, that's what I'm going to put in the block that says what is going to be my specific contribution to Karina. It's going to be my total income for 2022. Right? She's going to be my wife. So we're going to split everything. What's mine is hers. What's hers is mine. Benny Yao. Diego, my RFE was a minor yes/no answer to a question. I remember. I responded and sent it back. They received it August 15th. I'm still waiting for their final approval. Well, you're going to get it. You filled in the right block, right, Benny Yao? You put an X in the right block, right? Yeah, of course you did. You were highly intelligent. You figured it out. You responded. You made the correction. You sent it back. Now you just got to wait for immigration, okay, to get unbusy to adjudicate your case. It won't take long. You'll get an NOA-2 letter very soon. And now guess what, Benny Yao, guess what? When you get your NOA-2 letter, guess what? You're going to be on this live stream telling me all about it, right? I know you will, and you're going to get it. Fazak, N187 says to avoid Baltimore. Now, Baltimore, Maryland's nice. I've been there. I don't know about now. It was a couple of years ago, but I never had any issues in Baltimore. They got an old Navy ship there, if I remember, in the harbor, in the inner harbor, Maryland. Jason, to YouTube most dangerous cities. Not a fan of St. Louis or Baltimore. St. Louis, okay. St. Louis, Missouri. That's in Missouri. That would be probably a place to avoid. I would agree. Baltimore, I don't know. I've been there. I thought it was beautiful. K Messenger, hello Diego. Greetings from Tlaxcala, Mexico. Buenas noches. Utsab Upadhay. Thank you, Diego, for your help. Quick update on my case. No problem. I'm here for you. I'm going to get you through this. I've been talking for 1 hour. Okay, I'll talk another 30 minutes if you want me to keep talking. I got 40 people on the channel, unless you want to go do other things. If you want to go do other things, I will go and cook dinner for myself. But if you want me to keep chatting, I'll talk another 30 minutes. But you got to throw me some questions. You know, this is for you guys. I'm here to get you educated on the K1 visa process. And you are doing great. You're getting through it, right? You've learned a lot today. Jacob, you learned a lot about the I-134, right? You learned on the I-134, you're going to put NA on all the blocks that don't apply to you. You learned that you're going to put zero income for your beneficiary, even though he doesn't, even if he has a job. It doesn't matter. You learned that the I-134 is all about the sponsor's ability to support the beneficiary. Jacob, I have finished my I-134. Well, how about that? Look at you. And you did it right here. That's why you were asking me questions on the live stream, because you were doing your I-134 at the same time. Fantastic. High five. I'm impressed. I am impressed with your initiative. JD, James 1, it's immigration purposes other than citizenship. Okay. And somebody sent me a message on my friend in Bogota. My driver, the guy that drives me around Colombia sometimes, sent me a thumbs up. K Messenger. So when my fiance gets to the USA, we will live near the US-Mexico border. When we travel east, we will cross an immigration checkpoint, not the border. How will we answer the questions? Are you a US? Well, then if you, I know, I used to live in New Mexico. I used to live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I used to drive south close to the border with Mexico sometimes. And I'd have to go through, in Alamogordo, I think it was in Alamogordo, near Alamogordo, I'd have to go through these immigration checkpoints. But I had my military ID on me, okay, driving a government vehicle. And the guy would pull me over, put over here. And I'm like, well, you know, total Fourth Amendment violation of my constitutional rights, right? It's a total constitutional violation. But I'm a good American, so I followed his directions and I pulled over. He said, are you a U.S. citizen? Now, technically, I don't have to answer that question because I'm protected under the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. Look that up. But I'm a good American. And I said, yeah, I'm a U.S. citizen. Here's my military ID. And he said, okay, Mr. Diego, have a nice day. And he opened up the gate and let me go. So I would travel with a passport with the K1 visa. Make a photocopy, okay, of the biographic page of your beneficiary's passport and the K1 visa. Make a copy of the passport and the visa. Staple them together. Don't staple stuff for immigration for K1 visas, by the way. Don't ever staple anything. But in this case, if you're traveling close to the U.S. border and you're going through an immigration checkpoint, you know, like I did in Alamogordo in New Mexico, how will we answer the question, are you a U.S. citizen? Well, your beneficiary is not a U.S. citizen, okay? But you got to prove your legal stay in America. How do you prove that? The I-94 and the K-1 visa and the passport, put them all together. Carry them with you. So if you get pulled over by Border Patrol, they'll know what an I-94 is, they know what a K-1 visa is, and they know what a passport is, and you will be asked the question, are you a U.S. citizen? No, I'm not. I'm a beneficiary. I just got married to my American citizen sponsor. Okay, what's your nationality? Okay, I'm from Colombia. Okay, how do you prove that you are legally in the United States and you don't have your green card? Not yet. You're waiting for it. How do you prove it? I-94, copy of the K-1 visa, copy of the passport. You're good to go. The Border Patrol officer will say, "Welcome to America. Have a wonderful day," and carry on. So you got it. K Messenger. Did I help? Did that help you? Brian and Jacqueline, this is off topic, but we have a dog in Colombia. Nice. And Jacqueline and Valentina would love to bring her with them when they come to California. Is it difficult to do that? No. You just got to get, I made a video. If you page through all my videos, you will find a video about how you bring a dog from Colombia to America, or a dog from America to Colombia. I made a video how to do it. Look for that video. There's a big picture of all these dogs and cats in the photo. But it's not hard to do, and you can do it. You just got to go through some steps, okay, which are required by the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. They make the rules. Watch that video, and you will know how to bring a dog from Colombia to America. And it's possible to do. It's easy. Just watch the video. You guys got to find it. Page through about 500 videos. So that's your homework assignment. Citizen, what documents do we present? Well, you got a driver's license, right? Your driver's license. James says, thanks to JD. Faith, hey, I used to live in Las Cruces, New Mexico. I've been to Las Cruces. Beautiful part of New Mexico. I went to the Organ Mountains. I believe that's what it's called, the Organ Mountains. And I also went to Carlsbad, to the caverns in Carlsbad. Las Cruces was hot. Woo! But I went to my favorite restaurant in downtown Las Cruces and ate my favorite Mexican dinner there. Okay. LK, I thought your visa countdown starts when it's in your passport. No. The visa countdown starts from the date of the medical exam. How are you going to enter the United States on a K-1 visa if your medical exam's expired? They won't let you in. You got a K-1 visa that's good, but your medical exam's expired, right? They'll open up that secret packet. Remember, you got that secret letter. They're going to look at it and say your medical exam's expired. Guess what? They're going to send you back home. They won't let you in America, even though your K-1 visa is still good. I'm serious. The countdown starts for your K-1 visa when the date of your medical exam starts, okay? Trust me, guys. I've been through this thing before. Trust me. Thevi Straight POV. Hi, Diego. Which one? The total income in the W-2 form should put on I-134. Yes. The W-2 form and or 1099, the numbers added together should equal what's on your 1040 or your tax transcript, your 1040. The W-2 should match the number on your 1040, which is the number that you put on your I-134 for 2022 income. K Messenger, yes, sir, very much. Now, my dad is sir, okay? I'm Diego. Much appreciated. Go Navy. We're going to go Navy. We'll go Marine Corps. We'll go Air Force, Coast Guard, Merchant Marine, Army. Let's not forget anybody. James 1, choose a liberal airport when bringing your fiance to the USA. At the first port of entry, LAX, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and New York are great. I've heard people getting grilled in conservative states like Texas. Well, the Border Patrol, okay, go to one school. They go to one school and they're trained in one school. And then they are assigned their duties wherever they are going to go. So it doesn't matter what airport you're going to come into, conservative, red state, blue state, it's irrelevant. The Border Patrol, okay, don't care what your politics are. They just want to know you're coming in properly. So they're going to give you your question session. Doesn't matter which airport. If you fly into LAX or San Francisco or New York, you're going to be bumping into 10 or 11 international flights all at the same time, and you're going to spend 2 or 3 hours in an immigration line. But if you fly into a small airport in Texas, let's say you fly into, I don't know, Houston, maybe not so bad. John Labatt, Diego, hello, and to everyone, hello. This is a question about sponsor. Are they liable for beneficiaries for 10 years? Yes. Joint sponsor and the sponsor are liable for the beneficiary once they get their green card. This is the rule. This is the rule for the joint sponsor or for the sponsor. If you are a sponsor, you bring somebody to America and you get married and you do the adjustment of status, you're going to sign form I-865 and I-864. Okay? That means you are signing a contract with the U.S. government that says you will take care of this person financially up to and including 125% of the minimum income level. Let's suppose you get a divorce. You beneficiary, you get married, you've been together for 2 years, she gets her 10-year green card, and then you get a divorce. Guess what? And then you decide you want to bring another person to America in a K-1 visa. You divorce, she's happily married somewhere, whatever. Guess what? You are still responsible for that person as a dependent, even though you're divorced. Okay? So you marry somebody, they come to America, they get a green card, you get a divorce, they live in a different state. When you fill out a second K-1 visa package, you have to include that person in your second K-1 visa package as a dependent, except, and this is the exception, they've been working in America for 10 years. They pass away and go to heaven, they become a U.S. citizen, or they leave the United States and go back to their home country. All right? On my first K-1 visa package, we got married, we got divorced. She went home. She didn't want to live in America. Guess what? I'm not responsible for her. So when I applied for my second K-1 visa, I just told immigration about her, but on my I-134, she's not a dependent. She doesn't live in America. Not my responsibility. She's probably married already to somebody from wherever she lives. So you understand that, right? Let me see. John Labatt, once off the plane in the United States, how is the I-94 obtained? Okay. I made a video on how to get the I-94. I made a video on how to get it. But what will happen is your beneficiary will go into an immigration room. She'll be asked a few questions. It's no big deal. It's a formality. They'll take her passport or his passport, check the K-1 visa, matches the information in their computer, blah, blah, blah. They'll check everything's kosher. And then they will create an I-94 number for her in the computer or him. Do they give you an I-94? No. You have to wait for that I-94 to populate in the computer at the Border Patrol. It takes a couple of weeks. So after about 2 weeks, go into the Border Patrol website and try to find out if the I-94 is available. You punch in the passport number, the name of the beneficiary, etc., and then you print it. Make sure you do not adjust your status for green card without including the I-94 form. If you do, if you get frustrated because you can't find the I-94 and you want to get your adjustment of status done, if you don't include the I-94 in the K-1 visa, in the green card process, you're going to get an RFE or a denial. The immigration officer is going to think that you came in the country illegally. You got to print the I-94 from the Border Patrol website, Google I-94 official website, or watch the video I made about how to do it. Angel Tate, has anyone here online premarital counseling? My fiance and I are considering signing up. I also think it is a good proof of relationship. Yeah, it's a great thing to do. And then include that in the adjustment of status when you apply for the green card. You go through a class, print the certificate, include it in your adjustment of status paperwork. Angel Tate, done. John Labatt in the Philippines. Once entering the Macan airport in Cebu, we have to stand in line with our passport. my fiance will be with me. We just say we are on a fiance visa and show a passport. Okay, that's in the Philippines. That's easy, right? Then you fly from Cebu to Manila. You get your connecting flight from Manila straight to New York or wherever. You may have to go to Singapore or South Korea and change planes there. I don't know. HY. Hi, Diego. From your experience and others, do they actually ask for the original copy of the I-129F at the interview? No, it's impossible. You mailed it to the lockbox in Dallas. You don't have the original. So that's an impossible feat unless you are a magician. Now, you can make a copy of the I-129F, make a copy of it, if you give it to your beneficiary to study, because the immigration officer will ask questions to your beneficiary from information that's contained in the I-129F and in the DS-160. So you cannot get the original I-129F. You can make a copy of it. I strongly recommend you make two complete copies of your K-1 visa before you mail it to the lockbox. Make two complete copies. Okay, one to send to Dallas, Louisville, Texas. One for your beneficiary in his or her home country, and one for you to keep at home in case immigration lose your first visa package. Then you got a backup. John Labatt, I'm just asking questions about joint sponsors. Yes, a joint sponsor signs a contract with the U.S. government and is responsible for the beneficiary for 10 years or until he or she becomes a U.S. citizen, passes away and goes to heaven, or leaves the United States permanently and abandons the green card. 10 years also for joint sponsors. Yes. Or they become a citizen. You could become a U.S. citizen in 3 years. Then you're done. The contract with the government terminates when the beneficiary becomes a citizen, and it usually takes 3 years. James 1, would the purchase of a firearm affect my background check at the MVC, or should I just wait until the visa process is completed? James 1, your purchase of a firearm is protected and private information under the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The Second Amendment of the Constitution grants you the God-given right as an American citizen to purchase a firearm, whether you are in an immigration process or not. Okay? When you purchase that firearm, that information is protected. It's private. The FBI has no constitutional authority to pull that information from that dealer where you purchased that gun. It's illegal for them to do that. And in fact, they just got in trouble for doing that in the past. And our congressman here in District 1 set them straight. You will not get an FBI check done on weapons purchases. Okay? They won't. They can't do it. It's against the law. It violates the Constitution. Your Fourth Amendment rights to privacy to protect your information. And also, you have a Second Amendment right to buy a gun. The Constitution says you can. And the government can't stop you unless you're a felon. Okay? That's the only time, if you are not legally able to buy one. John Labatt, Diego, thanks for your answers. Also, if my fiance in Cebu has to go back in 7 months to pick up her son because his passport, I remember, will be available at that time. Do we apply for travel? Here's what you need to do, John. You need to apply for a advance parole document as soon as you get into the United States. Get married within 90 days. Apply for the adjustment of status within 90 days. Okay, put a fantastic adjustment of status package together and get your beneficiary's green card in process. Include in that adjustment of status paperwork advance parole. That way, if you don't have the green card in 7 months, you can still travel to the Philippines to pick up your stepson with your beneficiary, your wife. Okay, so when you apply for the green card, include an advance parole document in there. It's free. You don't get billed for it. you're going to be good to go. Okay, guys. I think we've covered a lot of ground today, and I'm going to go cook my dinner. I'm making a roast potatoes and Brussels sprouts, and I'm making some. Let me see what else. I got some chicken, some stuffing. I'm going to make all kinds of good stuff. And I'm getting hungry. I'm going to go eat, and I will see you guys. What's today? Monday. I'll see you Wednesday. That's not long. Couple of days, right? Thanks for the super chats, guys. I have got Mountain Dew on my mind now. I want to be filled up on Mountain Dew. I'm going to go to Walmart tomorrow, although my fridge is still filled up from Mountain Dew from the other day. And see you guys on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, US.